it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about gentle products that are friendly to your skin. So if that sounds like your thing, please consider hitting subscribe anytime during the video. And today I want to talk about what do you do with products that just didn't work out for you. You know, they didn't spark joy, they didn't suit your skin type, and you don't want to waste them. So what do you do? That's what today's video is. I'm going to talk about how to repurpose those products, making sure that nothing goes to waste. And I'm also going to be sharing some tips on how to maybe avoid this situation in the future. So give the video a big thumbs up and let's jump right into it. Now, when you have a handful of products that you just do not want to put on your face, you know what I'm saying, just not comfortable, you can reuse those products up on your body. This is really one of my biggest tips for you. And your body skin, generally speaking, is a lot more resilient than your face skin. So I find sometimes if a cleanser was too harsh on my face, it doesn't irritate or dry out my body skin. I can use lots of chemical exfoliation on areas where I break out, like my back or maybe my chest, where I can't really tolerate, you know, high percentages or lots of applications on my face. So just know that there is a little bit of a difference, but always assess your comfort level, because if you have found that, you know, the product itself maybe caused an allergic reaction or a lot of sensitivity, you may not necessarily want to apply that onto your body. So just use your best judgment here and assess your comfort level. But generally speaking, things that didn't just quite work out for your face will be absolutely fine used on your body. So if you have oil or balm cleansers that you don't want to use on your face, consider using these on your body in the shower. These are actually really helpful to break up lots of thick and heavy sunscreen layers on your neck, chest, arms, and legs. Now, cleansers that don't work out for your face also can be used in the shower as body wash. Toners and essences that didn't work out for you can be applied to your body right before lotion or body cream. This is particularly helpful if you have really dry skin or dehydrated body skin. Yes, you can have dehydrated body skin. I do. I have dry and dehydrated body skin. So sometimes a little layer of like a watery essence or a toner, and then topping that off with a moisturizer, it locks in that hydration. You know, you get the moisture, you get the hydration, those double layers, just like what it does for your face, works out really well for your body. And in the winter time, my hands suffer so much. They get so dry, so dehydrated, that sometimes if there's a toner that just didn't really float my boat, I'll put a couple drops of that onto my hands right after washing them first. Then I'll apply my lotion onto that, locking in all those beautiful humectants, really helping to keep my hands comfortable. Now, when it comes to serums, remember your neck and chest need love too. And also remember, your neck and chest skin actually does behave differently than your face skin. There's less pores there, there's less oil being produced there, but it does still mean some TLC. Now, speaking of your neck and chest, I love to repurpose eye creams for this area. This is one of my favorite tips to pass on, because eye creams, you know, sometimes you find ones that just don't really do anything for you, but even if you do find ones you love, they generally last forever. Like, you just have them open for so long, you're worried that they might expire on you, right? It takes me a really long time to empty eye creams. And so I would suggest, you know, things that don't work or things that you just want to accelerate the emptying process of, use those eye creams on your neck and chest. A lot of the ingredients that target fine lines and wrinkles underneath the eye area are going to also work for the fine lines and potential wrinkles that you might be concerned about on your neck and chest. Plus, they tend to have lighter emollients, not super duper heavy emollients like a moisturizer. So that little bit of a lighter texture does seem to suit this area just a little bit better. Now, when it comes to moisturizers, of course, anything that didn't work out for your face, try it anywhere on your body. Body skin needs moisturizer too. But you may find that it's kind of handy to use a moisturizer that didn't quite float your boat for your face. Works particularly well for your hands, and the size of moisturizers designed for the face are perfect for purses, work bags, gym bags, keeping at a desk. You know what I mean? Like the size is just the right amount for carrying around. All right, let's talk about sunscreen. And I guarantee the majority of us here on this video right now in this moment have at least one sunscreen that we have abandoned at the back of a drawer or at the back of a shelf. We just don't like it. It didn't work out for our face at all. I have found using them on my body works perfectly well, because remember, sunscreen doesn't just end at your jawline, right? We do need sunscreen on our neck and chest, any area that is exposed, arms, hands, tops of feet, legs. These are great travel sizes, right? So if you ever just need to quickly put some SPF on the back of your hands before you start driving, reapply on the tops of your feet when you're wearing sandals, it's really a really, handy size to carry along with you. Now, any oil that did not work out for your face can be repurposed a lot of different ways. So you may want to try it on your hair. Just put a couple of drops into the palms of your hands, kind of like warm it up, and then just apply, really concentrating on the ends of your hair. Now, you can also mix a couple of drops of oil into any body lotion that you're currently using, especially if you do want to kind of like oomph up the moisture. It's especially nice on legs. If you're going to be showing off your legs, you want that really nice moisturized, aka non-ashy knee look. I have very, very dry knees. If you want to just like oomph up the glisten and the moisturized look on any of your limbs, put a couple drops of oil into your moisturizer and you will achieve the look instantly. But I also love to repurpose oil for my hands because my hands get very dry. My cuticles can get very rough and raggedy, especially in winter time. So I just keep a bottle of any oil. I have a lot of skincare, so any oil that I'm not like currently using on my face, I'll leave a bottle right by my bed. And so when I'm getting into bed at night, like ready to go to sleep, I'll put a couple drops on my hand and really work it into my nail bed and my cuticles, really helping to moisturize that. And then I'll just top it off with some hand cream or maybe even a moisturizer that I don't like for my face, but I'm using it for my hands. I'll seal it in that way. And that really actually helps keep everything looking healthy and not super, super dry. If you are into hand care and you kind of want to go the extra mile and you have a sleeping mask sitting around that it's just not really your thing, right? Or maybe kind of like the eye cream situation. It just takes you a really long time to empty sleeping masks and you're kind of ready to be done with the tube that you have. That kind of describes me. It takes me forever to empty my sleeping masks. So if you're in the same boat as me, try repurposing your sleeping mask as a hand mask, because sleeping masks are really designed to infuse lots of moisture, hydration, plumping, skin healthy ingredients, all things that are going to benefit your hands. And oftentimes they bring a little healthy dose of brightening to your skin as well. And I always find like, a little brightening on my hands can definitely be helpful. So try that one out. You can even put a little bit of oil on your hands first and then seal it in with any sleeping pack that you want to use up quickly. Beyond repurposing your skincare, of course, you can consider giving it away to somebody else. Just because something didn't work out well for you does not mean that product is not going to be loved, used, and appreciated by somebody else. So if you have friends or family members you think the product is going to work for, or, somebody who would just be willing to take a gamble on something that didn't work for you, definitely feel free to be a little bit generous and give those products away to somebody else. And I do find that most people don't really care if you've sampled the product or opened it before. I find that doesn't bother most people at all, and they're going to be willing to give that product a new life. Now, if you're somebody who is looking to make more sustainable choices in their life and really interested in taking some of the demand off of the market for new products, this next tip is going to be for you. Consider hosting a swap party. So this is where everybody invited brings an item that they no longer love, use, and appreciate. You can certainly tailor it to just, skincare or beauty products. You can open it up to clothes, feel out the group that you're going to invite, but everybody brings something that's just not being used or loved in their household, and you can swap it out at the party for something maybe that you're more interested in. No money exchanges hands, but again, giving new life, breathing new life into products that are probably just sitting and gathering dust in somebody else's home. Another tip for you is to participate in buy nothing communities. Now you can find these on Facebook. You just want to search for buy nothing and then like your community, because it's going to be specific to your location. The way that these work is members of the buy nothing community can post about items that they are either looking for or post about items they are looking to give away. This is not a swap, and this is not money. Money is not being exchanged at all. It's just about giving away items that you don't have a use for anymore. So you could post on a buy nothing community that you've got skincare that you're not using, and if anybody wants to claim it, somebody can claim that, and then you can set up a like a pickup kind of location and give those products away to somebody who's actually going to use them and love them. If you cannot repurpose the product and you can't find a new home for it, then unfortunately you have to purge it. This is not really my first resort, but it does happen sometimes. So if you just can't find anything else to do with the product, then the most responsible thing you can do is to recycle the packaging. In order to recycle your skincare, you have to get the skincare product out of the packaging. You have to clean it out. So make sure that you're rinsing it really good, squeezing everything out of the tube. You cannot recycle skincare packaging with product still inside. So make sure you're cleaning that out. Make sure you look at the back of the packaging for the recycling symbol, not just to ensure that it can indeed be recycled, but I am finding that sometimes there are instructions on how to recycle that product. I'm actually seeing this a lot more often where it says that you should recycle, said container with the cap on, which, in the past, that's not necessarily been the case. And I'm not saying that you should recycle everything with the cap on. In fact, it's usually good practice to make sure you're separating all the pieces out. But some products do need to be recycled like completely intact. So make sure you're paying attention to that label, because there are very specific instructions sometimes on those labels. But if that's not the case, then you do, like I said, you do actually want to take caps and things off. It's more likely that things are going to get recycled if you separate them out. So if you have a serum bottle, you do need to take the cap off, rinse the bottle out. The bottle itself is going to be most likely recyclable, but the top, the dropper, is not recyclable. No part of that is recyclable, so you'll have to put that in the trash, unfortunately. Make sure you're cleaning that bottle out. If the label is easy to remove, remove the labels off of any of your packaging. This is just going to help ensure that what you're putting into the recycling bin actually ends up being recycled. If you have like a toner bottle, for example, take the cap off. The caps on toner bottles, it's like a 50-50 chance. Look for the recycling symbol inside of the cap. That will help ensure that something can be recycled. But if you have a toner bottle that has that little you know what it is? That little plastic insert that kind of helps the flow of the product. If you have that little plastic insert, that actually has to be popped out too. Any little parts that you can take off of the packaging is going to, again, help make sure that things can be sorted out the right way in the recycling facility. Again, ensuring that things that you put into the bin actually do end up being recycled. As much as we want to believe every single thing we put into that bin does end up being recycled in the end, that's just not the case. That's just the unfortunate reality of the recycling system for consumers as it is right now. And this video is not about making changes, although I want changes to be made. Just talking about working within the existing system. So that does mean cleaning everything out thoroughly, removing labels, parting everything unless the symbol says not to, right? Make sure to check out your local community's recycling guidelines, because they're different everywhere. Because at the end of the day, you want to feel good knowing that what you put into the recycling bin most likely you've given it the best chance possible of being recycled. And now I want to talk about reflecting on the products that did not work out for you. Because if you did have to repurpose, give away or purge any skincare, you should look back and consider how you ended up in this situation in the first place. And I do want to stress the fact that from time to time, it's going to happen. Don't beat yourself up about it, because it does happen on the skincare journey. We can carefully consider our purchase, look into all different types of reviews, and still, we do our due diligence and still it doesn't work out, right? For whatever reason, it just doesn't work. So these things do happen. However, sometimes it happens for some deeper reasons, and that's why this reflection process is really important, because you may find that you're doing this a lot more often than you're comfortable with. And it may come down to the fact of you not really deeply understanding your skin's needs, understanding your skin type. You may find, and look, here's the thing. It happens, especially, I would guarantee the majority of us have done this at least once in our skincare journey, where we just kind of followed our favorite bloggers or YouTubers or, whoever, right, that we're listening to when it comes to skincare advice. We just go off of their recommendations without really deeply considering our own needs. We've all done this. I have done this. Really early in my skincare journey, I wasted some money on products that, in hindsight, I should have known were not right for my skin. But at the time, I didn't trust my gut instinct. I didn't trust my own personal knowledge of my skin yet, that I would just buy whatever, my favorite bloggers were raving about. And so I ended up buying a lot of stuff that didn't end up working at all for me, because I wasn't listening to what my skin was telling me at the time and really trusting that and allowing that to guide me. That takes time. You know what I mean? That takes time. That takes trusting yourself. And that's why I want you to reflect back. Because if you're finding this is resonating just a little bit, this is your permission slip to trust yourself a little bit more. Even if it's completely different than what your favorite YouTuber is saying at the moment, just trust what your skin is telling you. Trust that instinct, and don't fall for the hype, right? Because sometimes, you're just not listening to a skin twin. So consider if that might be the case, if you do need to do a little bit more deeper connection with your skin, honing your skin tuition, your gut instinct, and just really carefully, testing out each product and really kind of balancing out, figuring out what your skin likes and doesn't like. It's a process. Don't beat yourself up about it. This is no shame here. As I said, I've done it too. Something else that we have to talk about in this video, if you have repurposed, given away, or purged a large quantity of skincare in a short period of time. Are you hoarding your skincare? Are you over purchasing? Are you buying way more than you could ever put on your face in a reasonable amount of time? Are you getting rid of products you never opened because they're expired? Because if you are, you need to take a hard look at this. Okay, and as somebody who has a lot of skincare as well and has been in this situation and is not comfortable about that situation, you gotta get control of that. And you gotta look at that a lot deeper and really question, why are you buying so much? Because I'm here to remind you, you only have one face. Okay, so you can only put so much on it at any given time, right? So if you're purchasing more than you can put on your one face, sit with that for a minute and ask yourself, why might that be? No judgment, no shame, but ask yourself why. Does it make you feel good to get packages? Does it make you feel, like it's a little gift for yourself? Does it kind of lift your moods? But are you actually using the products? Are you enjoying them? You just got rid of a bunch of them, right? And they kind of went to waste. So you got to look at that, because if you're constantly buying things to make yourself feel good, to help lift your mood, right? To relieve stress, there are other coping mechanisms that are going to be a lot more helpful and healthy for you than buying skincare and beauty products, right? So look at that. If this sounds like you, okay, I want you to go to a video that I made a couple of months ago called Gut Check. Do this first before hitting purchase, because I talk a lot more deeply about that in that video. And again, I just want to emphasize, no shame if this sounds like you. I've done it too. You're not alone. But there are other ways. There are other ways than this. And if you do care about not wasting products, you clicked on this video, right? If you do care about that, and you do find yourself kind of constantly buying stuff that you couldn't possibly use up in a responsible way, I just want to remind you, if you care about making sustainable choices, do know the most sustainable choice you can make is not making a purchase. So now I want to hear all of your tips for repurposing, giving away, or purging skincare. Let me know in the comment box below, because like I said, these things, they do happen, and we want to make sure that those products get used up and not wasted. If you love this video, you made it all the way to the end, but you still haven't hit subscribe, please do consider doing that before you go. I release lots of new videos just like this one, so if you enjoyed it, please consider hitting subscribe and turn on notifications, because I do release lots of new content throughout the week. I hope you are healthy, happy, and safe, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.